I don't have paper copies of the agenda, but they were emailed out. Yes, I had printer
Hold
problems
on.
today.
You're good. No.
Ooh,
Hey, when it's
look at that.
Efficient.
Not gonna have to sit here and squint at my phone, am I?
You're not
for
taking
a
it.
dollar.
Okay,
Man, that-
put it on my bed. We'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Hey,
All right, we've got minutes that David has given us from the October 9th.
That are still warm.
Still warm. I'll give you a minute to look over them.
Please, please.
We'll make a move with accept them as written.
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank y'all. Before we get to the next item, first of all, Ed Wood is not here because he is in Toronto tonight, available by phone if we needed him. And Paul Boring has, I don't think we've met since he has resigned because he has sold his house and is moving out of the county. So we do have a vacancy that I do not think has been filled at this point, so, but we will work with our commissioners to get that done. Next item on the agenda is public input. Anybody from the public? All right. We'll go to committee and authority member reports. Ed was going to try to, by long distance, get his hands on financials. That didn't happen. I talked to him about 30 minutes ago, and he was just touching down, actually. So he was at the airport a whole lot longer than in the air than he had anticipated. So we will go to airport manager's report.
we had an excellent November. On the financials that I have, if I pass that to you, we did have an outstanding November, so quite a bit of fuel. We did have to, going into the end of November, order 100 low lead and Jet A. So you look on our December sheets, you can see we have a pretty high inventory, and this will carry us through the rest of this year. I don't anticipate having to buy fuel till the end of January, possibly the first week of February. The prices are still going up on Jet A and 100 low lead, but we're able to maintain and sell quite a bit of it. So we did get into Jet A before it started going up. And, the weather did slow us down Friday and Saturday. Sunday there was a little bit of flying sporadically, and then today the back on again. The runway is dry and clear, so are the taxiways and all the taxi. And finally, the last 172s finally sat back down on 3 gear because they were so overloaded with snow. They were tipped up in the air like they were on a carrier launch. Other than that, Air Methods was just a little slow in purchasing for November, and then in December is kind of slow because of weather. But they're, in the long run, they average out for the year. They did want them, because of the emergency services, to be full of fuel and available for another mission when they left Atlanta. So that's why they were buying from their tank farm in Atlanta, so that they could respond because of the high number of emergencies in the area. Other than that, we should have our finances. I think we're about 20% under for the year. Ed sent me a working copy with Faye, and so we're still staying under budget for the year. And as we get closer to closing out this month, we'll be zeroed out as much as possible. I'll work with Faye this week, find out how we're looking on all sides of that coin. And other than that, we're just grateful for the clear skies and above freezing weather and no snow. Aircraft are starting to pick up flying again, so business as usual. That's all I have. Any questions?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Phil?
Awesome. The 5-year capital improvement plan you turn in every year, that went in on time. The county has copies, both Lisa and Faye have copies for their records, and Randy as well. So that's all in, that's a big milestone, so that's in on time. T-hanger project, with your approval, we'll have that, put that back out for bid with the separation of the site stuff being FA eligible, the hangar itself being separate schedule, not meeting all the FA criteria with DBs and things like that. That'll give you kind of a sweet spot on the price point. We'll have all that for your January meeting, plan meeting on the 8th January. And then we did have, we actually, Randy and I met him on a Saturday about a month and a half ago, maybe, with a potential tenant in the Horseshoe, who last week called and is ready to move forward with presenting a sketch and proposal at what would be the January Development Authority meeting and January Airport Authority meeting. So I have a preliminary version of that, but it's not, they haven't seen it. So anyway, that's great news, and you continue to see activity in the Horseshoe. So that's all we have tonight.
Okay, and we need to approve the putting out the bid.
Yeah, that
And,
repackaging.
and the original bids came in, we had one bidder, they were higher than anticipated, so putting out the bid and separating the site work and the T-hangers was a way to hopefully get us back closer to what we had anticipated.
Yeah.
So if y'all don't mind, can we have a motion and
So moved.
Second.
all in favor? Appreciate it. The other item, it is the space that Eric Broadwell has talked about, building or wanting to ground lease. It is still that north corner. While we approved, I think it was probably back in May, that we would give him the letter of intent for that space. He apparently has worked with some designing and stuff, but to get the financing, we never did actually, I'm sorry, I should have said this. We never did actually execute that letter of intent with him. He didn't need it at the time, even though we approved that. He has come back and said, for me to talk to about getting my financing, we need that. I have had discussions with the Development Authority about it, as well as some of the banks talking about financing RT hangers. I can tell you this, I know what Randy's opinion is that the T-hangers that Eric talks about building in that space, Randy doesn't feel like it's gonna be a problem filling ours and his up. But we've still got concerns from Development Authority and from the banks. And then it also goes back to, is that really what we want in that horseshoe space, is T-hangers as opposed to some bigger hangars that would lend more towards aircraft that's gonna bring more fuel cells and more ad valorem. Had some discussions with some of y'all, and you know, I'm opening up for discussion and for us to make that decision whether we do or don't want those T-hangers, because we need to tell Eric that if we do not. Opinions, questions?
If our finance people are concerned about it, then we need to be concerned about it.
Personally, I'd rather see our T-hangers up and full before we would initiate putting any more out there and get some ground lease stuff and see where that's gonna go before we initiate putting that in, my personal opinion.
I'm fielding about 3 phone calls a day for people to be added to the hangar waiting list. We probably added 25 in the last 30 days. Once the word is spread that we're building, they want to be part of that. I think if we had 100 T-hangers, we could build 100 T-hangers and fill them easy, 100%.
But I'd like to see ours done first.
If we get 19 up and the bottom line is such that we could build 19 more on our property, I think that's the way we need to look. Ad valorem will boost all the way around, fuel cells, oil cells, et cetera, et cetera. But let's take care of in-house and make sure our house is strong first. Just a thought.
And I had the same opinion David did, which was reason bringing it up for y'all is if we've got those that are gonna issue the debt and those that are basically guaranteeing the debt for us having concerns, we need to listen to them.
Yes, we need to outlay those figures. Once we're at 100% occupancy with a standard waiting list, we can justify the fact that yes, there's a need, that yes, there's a demand, and we could go out. If the west taxiway is leased for ACC, so be it, then that's hangar space as well. There's a lot of RV builders, they don't need a full hangar, they just need a section of a hangar. So the big box hangars, you get 5 or 6 different RV projects at some point of completion, and they can amortize out their rent. But the demand is there. And we've got 310 that just called yesterday from a north field, about 17 miles, and he's ready to fly down here and be based here. His wingspan's like, he sent me the dimension, but it's 310, you can Google it. We need a box hanger that will house a 310, a King Air, kind of stuff like that. If you get a 310 sitting on the field, you're ad valorem tax, and next thing you know, you're 5 or 6 310s.
If nothing else, fuel sales.
Exactly, yes, so let's take care of our family first. That's just an opinion.
Is everybody in agreement, sir? Okay. All right, Commissioner is not here for remarks. Old business, that was all that I had on my list was the T hangers and the land lease letter of intent. Anybody else have any other old business aware of? New business, I'm not aware of any other than, and I'm really surprised Randy didn't bring this up.
I don't want to steal your thunder.
No, there's no thunder, just still. Senator Chuck Payne did come out, right, a couple of weeks ago.
It's been almost 2 hours.
Yeah, and spent about 2 hours out at our little airport. Just interested in seeing what was going on. And it was a good meeting. I felt like he left kind of understanding where we're headed, and
Yes.
he has an interest in seeing it grow. So it was well worth the time, so.
You definitely understand the economic impact to this county as far as our population versus North and South counties. And I think he's very pro-development to get commerce and to be able to be an attractive spot for developers to move into this area. But you need infrastructure. Airport is your #1 infrastructure for business to get to us. It's important. I see him as 100% on board. He's a nice guy.
How many jets a week are you seeing now?
Oh, we're probably seeing 5 a month total, in and out.
I can remember when that was a pipe dream.
Oh, I remember how Ray said, "You'll never sell a gallon of jet fuel in my lifetime," and you ate those words quickly.
Yep.
So,
Look at the numbers.
I know.
Did you get the military choppers in that you thought you was gonna get in?
Not yet.
Not get them in?
We're still having some deployment issues.
Well, your
We're still
fuel,
trying to
your
get see.
fuel sales are good.
Yes, we are definitely trying. And Jet A is our profit margin to hold the line for 100 low lead. But Chuck Payne was well aware and very pro. I'm very
I
impressed.
couldn't get
with
over
his
there, but there
opinion.
was no way, man. It's crazy.
We talked about it.
Yeah, we were sort of glad. We were trying to make the impression that we don't know, never mind.
For years.
All right. Anything else before the authority? No, it was a short meeting, but I appreciate everybody coming out. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, thank y'all.
Please, sir.